That's all. It's all, huh? Just now coming. Anyway, something. Anyway, it will fall anyway, so don't worry. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. की जय, श्री गौर निताई की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, Hare Krishna. We're reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2, the contents of the Gita summarized, text 61. 61, all right. Tani sarvani, just now coming. Text 61 is just now coming. Scroll. No, just to scroll down. Because I don't speak Sanskrit so well, so. Thank you. Okay. Tani sarvani samyamya yukta asita matpara vashahye yasyendriyani tasya pragya pratishtita tani sarvani samyamya yukta asita matparaha vashahi yasyendriyani tasya pragya pratishtita Tani sarvani samyamya. Yukta sita matparaha. Vashehiya sendriyani. Tasya pragya pratishtita. Nisambani samyamya. Uta sita taraha. Yandi. Tasya pragya pratishtita. Tani sarvani samyamya. Yukta sita matpara. Vashehiya sendriyani. Tasya pragya pratishtita. Tani sarvani samyamya. Yukta sita matpara. Vashehiya sendriyani. Tasya pragya pratishtita. Tani sarvani samyamya. Yukta sita matparaha. Vashehiya sendriyani. Tasya pragya pratishtita. Tani, those senses. Sarvani, all. Samyamya, keeping under control. Yuktaha, engaged. Asita, should be situated. Matparaha, in relationship with me. Vasha, in full subjugation. He, certainly. Yasya, one whose indriyani, senses. Tasya, his. Pragya, consciousness. Pratishtita, fixed. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. One who restrains his senses, keeping them under full control, and fixes his consciousness upon me, is known as a man of steady intelligence. Purport. That the highest conception of yoga perfection is Krishna consciousness is clearly explained in this verse. And unless one is Krishna conscious, it is not at all possible to control the senses. As cited above, the great sage Durvasa Muni picked a quarrel with Maharaj Ambarish, and Durvasa Muni unnecessarily became angry out of pride and therefore could not check his senses. On the other hand, the king, although not as powerful a yogi as the sage, but a devotee of the Lord, silently tolerated all the sage's injustices and thereby emerged victorious. The king was able to control his senses because of the following qualifications as mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam 9:4-18-20. Savaimana Krishna Padaravinda Yor Vacham Sivaikunta Unanu Varnane Karau Harer Mandira Marjanadishu Shrutim Ka Chakarachuta Satkatodaye Mukunda Lingalaya Starshane Drishautad Vritya Gatra Sparshen Gasangamam Granam Chatat Pada Saroja Saurabhe Shimatula Sayas Rasanam Tadarpite Padauharer Kshetra Padanu Sarpane Shiro Rishikesha Pada Bivandane Kamam Chadasya Natu Kamakamya Yatotama Shloka Janashraya Rati. King Ambarisha fixed his mind on the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, engaged his words in describing the abode of the Lord, his hands in cleansing the temple of the Lord,
his ears in hearing the pastimes of the Lord, his eyes in seeing the form of the Lord, his body in touching the body of the devotee, his nostrils in smelling the flavor of the flowers offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, his tongue in tasting the tulasi leaf offered to him, his legs in traveling to the holy place where his temple is situated, his head in offering obeisances to the Lord, and his desires in fulfilling the desires of the Lord. And all these qualifications made him fit to become a Matpara devotee of the Lord. The word Matpara in relation. The word Matpara is most significant in this connection. How one can become Matpara is described in the life of Maharaj Ambarish. Srila Baladev Vidyabhushana, a great scholar and acharya in the line of the Matpara, remarks Madbhakti Prabhavena Sarvendriya Vijaya Purvika Savatma Drishti Sulabhati Bhava. The senses can be completely controlled only by the strength of devotional service to Lord Krishna. Also, the example of fire is sometimes given. As a blazing fire burns everything within a room, Lord Vishnu, situated in the heart of the yogi, burns up all kinds of impurities. The Yoga Sutra also prescribes meditation on Vishnu and not meditation on the void. The so-called yogis who meditate on something other than the Vishnu form simply waste their time in a vain search after some phantasmagoria. We have to be Krishna conscious, devoted to the personality of Godhead. This is the aim of the real yoga. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shimate Praladananda Swamiti Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Prachaline. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashite Adeshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. This very interesting section from Bhagavad Gita describing the Atmarama person, the person who is self-satisfied. And lately I started to really study, I'm trying at least, to study Bhagavad Gita. And I find it's quite interesting. And I was going through the verses in this chapter, and I said, okay, I want to learn some verses from this chapter. You know, this whole chapter has 72 verses. I said, okay, I'll select a few. And then I got to 12. Then I thought, oh, this is really important verses. And I started learning one by one, you know, like 1, 2, 3. And, you know, like you read again. There's also this exercise by Vaisheshika Prabhu. He recommends Chad. You read one chapter a day. You know, like you take Bhagavad Gita. That's what we do in the Sankirtankar. We we choose a chapter. Usually they are upset with me because I like to to choose a chapter from the first 6, and I just repeat them because I want to learn them, not just you know. And they're like, chapter 3 again, chapter 3. Anyway, so anyway. Yeah, the point is, if you read them and then you try to get into the flow, you see, wow, this is actually nice. It's not so boring as it seems, Bhagavad Gita. And also there's many other types of exercises that help understand the Bhagavad Gita. One way which helps is this. There is this acronym method. So this. Every chapter is somehow split in a few section of verses, and each section represents a theme, something, and then they choose one word, one letter from this part, And they get, for example, the acronym for second chapter in English, in Slovenian it's different. Ananta Prabhu adapted, because I mean you cannot, it's Gita. Because the second chapter is a summary of the Bhagavad Gita. And it has 4, or you can split it in 5. Ananta Prabhu split it in 5 in his. So it has 4 sections. First section is G. G comes from Guru. So first 9 or 10 text 10 talks about the importance of accepting a guru. Usually you go on Chopova and you try to stop people and to give them a book, and they say, I'm good. Especially in Ljubljana here, like people are so-called cultured. So they are these people in a suit and coming from that job, Like, it's like, oh, hello, we're sharing. I'm good. All right. So this is first section of the second chapter. Arjuna is good. There's in first text, Sanjaya says that seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana Krishna spoke the following words. So Arjuna is good. He's crying, he lost his composure, but he's good. so most of the people, how are you? I'm good. Okay. So most of the people are in that state. They say they are good, but if you look at their faces, they don't look good. And they might even have some philosophy, like Arjuna also, he says, I'm good, and he also says, I know what should be done. Just, I have my opinions. So he says, one of them says, it would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of the great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. So Arjuna has moral values, and he knows what things are, how things are. No problem, But he's crying and he's in complete depression, but he's good and he's talking some philosophy. So this is the normal situation of people in outside, and it takes quite something that they get to the point that they realize that they are not good. They are a mess. They are a complete mess. They in this Alcoholics Anonymous manual, they say that it takes a rock bottom moment until they really realize that they are not in control. They have no idea what they are doing. And at that point, they actually take to the process. Of course, their process is different. But at that point, then you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm really completely accepted that I have no idea what I'm doing. Then at that point, you can actually accept a guru. Because if you're good and you know what should be done, then what's the point of accepting a guru? Yeah, I mean, maybe it's as a formality, but like a heartfelt that I actually need some guidance, you will not do it. So Arjuna is in this state. So he gets to this point where he's actually accepting his guru. And then this famous verse, Karpanya doshopahata svabhava pričami tvam dharma samuda cheta yashreyasyan nishchitam bruhitan me shishasteham sadimam tvam prapanam. Now I am confused about my duty. So Arjuna accepts, I have no idea what to do, and have lost all composure because of my miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and the soul surrender unto you. Please instruct me. So Arjuna actually gets to the point where he understands my life is a mess. And then what is the solution? The solution is that you find a bona fide guru and you surrender to him. And you ask, okay, I have no idea what to do. You tell me what to do. I don't know. So that's first section of the second chapter, G, from Guru. And then next section is I. I stands from identity. So Arjuna has surrendered, and now Krishna is instructing him. And what does he instruct him? These boring verses that we heard so many times. You are not this body, you rascal. And then, you are spirit soul. Okay. And then there's 20 verses where Krishna is saying in many ways that you are spirit soul. Dehinos minyata dehe maramya vananjara tata dehantara praptir dirasatrana muhyati. Famous verse. I'll just read the exact translation. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. And there's many verses like this. Najayate mriyate vakadachin ayam budva bhavita vanabuya ajonitya sarvato yam purano nahanyate hanyamane sharire. For the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever-existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. So your spirit soul and this soul is eternal. So this whole section is all about that. And then if you understand to some degree that what's your real identity, your soul, then there's the next section which responds to the questions, okay, how do I put this in practice? If I'm spirit soul, what do I do? So this section is, the acronym is T, from two duties. Because first section, Krishna speaks more about karma kanda level, that you do your duty and you get some benefits in the material world. For example, he says this because Arjuna's dilemma was, how will I enjoy? If I am in this battle, then I will not enjoy. Yeah, that's one of the Arjuna's arguments for not fighting. And Krishna says, O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets. This is a dharmic war. If you die in a dharmic war, then you'll attain the heavenly planets. And you enjoy. As Srila Prabhupada many times said a few times that most of his disciples will become demigods in the next life. Maybe most of the devotees, because this for a devotee, this is the consolation prize, You chant some rounds, you're not really serious. I mean, you're serious to some degree. And why you're not serious? Because you want to enjoy the material world. So, no problem. Krishna is very merciful. He gives you a demigod body. He sends you some apsaras. You have some fun. No problem. You want to enjoy. No problem. And then you can continue. So, Krishna says, yeah, I mean, your problem is that you'll not enjoy. Even if you die in this dharmic war, then you get to heaven, and you will enjoy joy. And or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight. So Arjuna was presenting some arguments that this is a lose-lose situation. I win, it's gonna be bad because I cannot enjoy. I lose, then I will be dead and I cannot enjoy. And Krishna says, no, it's a win-win situation. You fight. If you win, you enjoy the kingdom. If you lose and die, you enjoy the heavenly planets. Joy. Good deal. So this is this first section, which is on karma kanda level, and then he goes further, like, karma kanda, but actually you want to do karma yoga, because the purpose is to have this connection with me. And then there's, if you do this, then what do you get? Well, you become, next acronym for the next section is A, from Atmarama. It's not from the shop. I mean, it's also from the shop, but so, if you go, some people become self-satisfied if they they go to the shop and buy some things. That can also be, but that's not what Bhagavad Gita talks about. So this A from Atmarama means someone becomes self-satisfied. And then the question is, what's a few symptoms of someone who is self-satisfied? Well, the obvious thing is that they are not. They don't find satisfaction in something external. So whatever happens externally, people are. You go to Sankirtan, people are nice to you. They are not nice to you. You don't care, because you have inner happiness. You go, and then they're like, "What are you doing here? What's wrong with you?" Like, okay, see you, no problem, because you have and then the question is, because then you get many examples of persons who actually try to control their senses. And to some degree, you see that they don't succeed. And then Krishna gives also the other part. I mean, of course, he gives also other verses in this chapter where he talks about controlling the senses, like Apuramanama Chala Pratishtam Samudramapa Pravishantyad Tadvatyad Kama Pravishanti Sarvesa Shanti Mapnoti Nakama Kami. He says, a person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is always still, can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy such desires. He talks on the same level. Yes, you have to be internally satisfied. If you're internally satisfied, you're not looking for outside happiness so much. We're talking about prasadam, like you have so much prasadam in the temple, and then if someone comes, okay, we have a pizza party, you're like, okay, but you have such a good prasadam in the temple that you're not. Okay, we'll go if we have to, but we're not. So similarly, the point is how you become so undisturbed. And then the verses before, this 61, Krishna also gives this information. How do you become undisturbed? He says, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinam rasopyarja rasopyasya param drishva nivartate. He says, though the embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, the taste for sense objects remains. But ceasing such engagement by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in consciousness. He says, you cannot control the senses. You can control them for some time, but you're gonna fail. And there's examples in the previous purport. Srila Prabhupada gave the example of Vishvamrita Muni, meditating 60,000 years. And then something happens, he cannot control his senses. 2 times he failed after 60,000 years. You can imagine, like Vishvamrita Muni was not some rookie. Like he went to this yoga studio and he was meditating 5 minutes every day, and he could not control his senses. No, he was really serious. Like he was really advanced. Eventually, he got the Brahminical initiation, as Maharaj says. He was really serious, but because he wasn't a devotee, he didn't have this higher taste. This connection with Krishna, he couldn't control his senses. Eventually something happened. And you have, there's many examples, I'll just skip a few. So the point is, you can try to control the senses, but you're gonna fail. We were discussing this morning, Bhakta Domen told me that he knows this person who is vegetarian most of the time. 90% she's vegetarian, but she goes in front of McDonald's. I mean, out of all the nice things, McDonald's, come on. And she goes when she goes in front of McDonald's, she goes in and she takes a Big Mac, which is beef, and so whatever. And then she's vegetarian again. I actually had a friend like this in Romania. I met this person, and he was the same. He told me he's vegan and he doesn't even take honey, and he's so strict. And then after 1 minute, he was like, but. Sometimes I'm going in front of McDonald's and, I go in. And after I come out, I'm strict again. So this is very practical cases, you have all these high class munis, which fail. But also the persons next to us, you can see that they will eventually fall down from controlling the senses because they are not connected to Krishna eventually. They don't have higher taste. So, Hare Krishna. At some point, they will, their sense control will finish. And then the verse we were reading 2 days before, which talks about the same thing. Yatato hyapi kaunteya purushasya vipashchita indriyani pramatini haranti prasavamana. We were learning this verse today in the car. It says that the senses are so strong and impetuous, or Arjuna, that they can forcibly carry away the mind even of a man of discrimination who is endeavoring to control them. So Krishna speaks on many levels. He presents the same ideas again and again, the same thing over and over again. He says, someone might be really striving to control their senses, and a little you allow some little sense gratification, and the way the fall down is happening is described in the verse we will probably read tomorrow, or next verse, which we'll not read today. So the whole point of this section, there's the whole message, which is presented from different angles, is that an Atmarama is someone who controls his senses. which is not possible if you're not in Krishna consciousness. Krishna says, Nasti budira tasya nacha yuktasya bhavanaha nacha bhavayanta shantir ashantasya kutasukha. One who is not connected with the Supreme can have neither transcendental intelligence nor a steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? So everyone is searching for happiness. Everyone is searching to find some eternal happiness, not some temporary happiness. That's the whole point of this whole section where it's described about our identity as eternal spirit soul. This means if you're eternal spirit soul, it also means that we're searching for eternal happiness. And this happiness doesn't come from material senses. It doesn't even come from material mind. It doesn't even come from mystic experience. You know, like I was, before being a devotee, I had so many mystic experience. You know, it was trendy. You know, it was like going on the internet and you go like, wow, you know, you can have conscious sleeping. Wow, you can have these binaural beats and you see these entities and you're like, wow. That's nice, that's fun for some time. But what the soul is actually searching is eternal happiness. Eternal happiness that you find only in connection with Krishna. And this, so a very intelligent person is not searching for these temporary things. An intelligent person is searching for some eternal happiness. This verse in 5th chapter, Yehi sam sparshaya boka duka yonaya evate adyanta vanta kaunteya nate shuramate Buddha. He says that an intelligent person is not interested in the things that have a beginning and an end. And all these things that come from the contact of the senses, gross and subtle senses, they, in the same seed, there's also unhappiness. Some happiness and some unhappiness. So an intelligent person is not interested in that, is interested just in Krishna consciousness. So here we have the example of Ambarish Maharaj, who was 24 hours a day in Krishna consciousness. So he didn't have time to do any stupid things. So that's also our Sadhana Sankalpa program. First you have to come for the morning program, then you have to come for the evening program, then you have to read. Then the next step, you'll have to do some service. And then you realize that you have time to take some prasadam and sleep, which is perfect. Because if you do, if it's like that, then you don't have time for Maya, you know. So that's Srila Prabhupada says that this is our program, 24 hours per day in Krishna consciousness. So, yeah, just sharing a bit. Yeah, if there's some comments, questions.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the lecture. I was just thinking, you're speaking about this Atmarama person and how he tolerates everything and stuff, and like we try to tolerate things when we're in distress, but then it says also in happiness we should tolerate. So how can we, like when we're in happiness, we can tolerate that our minds don't become disturbed when?
Yeah. I gave last time, I don't know if you are here, I gave this example from Mahabharata, when they were happy that they won. You know, this, what was his name? Jayadratha that they had to kill, that Arjuna had to kill. Yeah. So there was this day when Abhimanyu was killed, and Jayadratha had, I don't really remember, but he had he somehow blocked the entrance of the others or something like this, and when Arjuna found out, he said, tomorrow I will kill him, you know. Yeah, and then and if not, he promised, I don't know, he will enter fire or something serious. And this Kshatriya stuff, you know, like when they promise, they promise. And so the whole day Arjuna was killing a lot of people, that he was like doing and fighting, you know. And then time for sunshine, for almost sunset came, you know, like, and at sunset it's like game over for today. And there was, I think Krishna made this some sort of eclipse. Chakra, yeah. And they were like very happy, you know, like Duryodhana and everyone were like, Jai, you know, like, and they forgot to protect Jayadratha. And this was not the actual end of the day, you know, like. So Arjuna just killed him and finished, you know. So that's an example. If your happiness can make you unintelligent, you know. Of course, this is not spiritual. And also, there's this. What's his name? Pururava, no? I don't know. No, not Pururava. This king who was enjoying with Urvashi. Yati, yeah. So Yati became quite. He was enjoying, but he was not very. His intelligence was completely lost. You know, like. So yeah, happiness, material happiness, doesn't give you too much. And there's examples of devotees who have this happiness, and then somehow they even put it aside, even spiritual happiness. They put it aside because they want to concentrate on their service. So yeah, I mean, yeah, happiness is sometimes we think, yeah, distress we don't want, but happiness, bring it on, you know. But also some material happiness can disturb you a lot on the path, you know, like you enjoy for some time and then you realize, oh, it was 5 years ago I was doing something with Krishna. There was some Krishna in my life. So yeah, I don't know. Something else? Ananta Prabhu, you want to add something?
Just those who like to study more, it's there is a shloka 728, Icha Dvecha Samutena. There is this principle mechanism is described. Vishwanath Chakravarti describes this. You know, because we have aversion to things which we don't like, dislike, and we have like attraction to things we are liking, and that's the mechanism that Maya holds you. You know, if you like neutral, you like that, you're not disturbed if you don't like, and also not too attached. But there is a mechanism when you discriminate that you desire things which you like. That's how you're bewildered with duality, and that duality goes with attachment and all that stuff. So it's interesting topic, and you can see that we are victimized with that principles all the time. Right? It's not so easy as it is, as we'd like to be. Thank you for this overview. I like this overviews and that. But this is interesting. For example, this the last section, Atmarama. Because there is speaking, you know, these two duties, you know. Okay, there you have karma kanda and then you have karma yoga, right? So at the end of that section, there is a description of that yogi. He's in samadhi, sthita pragya, karma yoga and sthita pragya. It's such a high level. Such a high level. These qualities of a person are really wow. But in connection with that, we usually say karma yoga. Like karma yogi, fui. It's like they're really low graded. But description here is really high. But interesting in that Prabhupada, Acharyas, all these sections are described as bhakti yoga. This is very interesting topic. Why always, surrender to me, but in the shloka Sanskrit is not there. But our Acharyas always interpret that this means bhakti means to Krishna and to person. And Prabhupada doesn't have any space that some impersonal stuff comes in. It's always to Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Rarely, I think this is the first shloka where Krishna points to himself. To me, you have mat ashraya. You have to take shelter of me. Anyway, this is for you. Unconnected thoughts. Hare Krishna.
Jai, thank you. Okay. Jai, thank you so much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.